Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. In this video we want to talk about the Cardano price, the Bitcoin price, and also about some of the things that could be coming next for Cardano and things that they might be talking about in the Cardano 360 update that will be coming on Thursday. So let's start with, before we go to the price charts, let's talk about this. I just want to mention this Babbage area within which we currently are or getting into. This is basically an era that hasn't really been talked about a lot before, but what they do, they currently work on some teething issues. They sort out some of the issues, the performance issues, which still are in the blockchain after the Alonso hard fork, after the combinator event. So there are various things like performance improvements that are proposed, talking about speed here for transactions and other smaller issues that have just been, that the guys have been made aware by users, by developers. They talk about a language upgrade here for the Plutus programming language. So just make sure that it will be faster and allow for larger transaction volumes in each block. There will also be additional features, again, which the user base has requested, so that's quite good. And then they talk about further decentralization in that phase, which they haven't really talked about in detail what that means, but I'm sure they will talk about or touch on that in Thursday's event. So that is quite interesting. That indicates that there will possibly be another hard fork, maybe end of the year, or maybe in January sort of time. I think that would be quite good if there's another hard fork coming for various improvements, further things that will improve the experience, also for developers, for the users. I think that will be quite good. I think another hard fork, even though it will not be a big one like the Alonso hard fork, might lead also to further price increases. Bit like, buy the rumor, sell the news, even though that won't be a massive one. So don't expect too much of it. But as I said, we're also getting into the altcoin season, slowly but steadily. And at that point then, I think, it could be a catalyst for further price increases. So I also want to talk about that actually. We haven't really talked about it on this channel. I haven't seen many people talking about it either. So it's just about their enterprise solutions. Found that really interesting that they have now put all of their solutions into segments, really like a, really professional company. And it just shows how they're developing as an organization. So it just shows for Cardano what they aim for, like education, looking at the IDs and basically what university, when somebody's get their when they get their degrees and everything, that all of that can be verified through blockchain. Retail as well, talking about all the issues about product counterfeiting and how that can be addressed with their solution, just to make sure there is traceability. Also agriculture, looking at sustainability, again, supply chain tracking for the agriculture industry. Here, government as well, digital identities, and that will be coming in the future as well, providing just a huge potential for Cardano, even though I'm not really a friend of that, but it will be coming, and we can make money with it at the moment. And then finance, talking about identity verification as well, and all of that which is not on blockchain at the moment, all these, maybe even KYC, all this identity verification stuff, all of that will probably be moved over to blockchain at some point. Here they talk about simply opening a new bank account in certain countries takes weeks. For example, other administrative processes, passport applications, even longer. And that's true, it takes weeks. Even here in the UK, I have to wait weeks for my passport. So the onboarding process is slow and resource heavy, often involving multiple third parties with their own fees and so on. A Taylor Prism, which is their solution, can streamline and accelerate onboarding through the utilization of reusable verified credentials. And they're getting into this stuff, and healthcare as well, talking about, again, counterfeit medicine. So they are splitting this out really, which makes it more attractive for customers as well, because they can straight away find the products, but they're also willing to develop customer specific ones. I found that somewhere. So anyway, I don't know where that is now. I think about learn more, and then you can find all here on the input output website, you can read through it in more detail. Product authentication, digital identity, verified credentials, and consultancy and custom solutions. So they're really growing, really, really interesting, and they're segmenting out as well. So I'm sure that will lead, and sort of that will lead to further growth in the future and further adoption as well. And even though the price is currently doing pretty much nothing, for me, that's not a problem. That's the best time to accumulate in my personal point of view, where other cryptos are now, overheated. Cardano isn't yet, and that just makes it much more attractive as we enter the alt season anyway. So yeah, I talked about that yesterday. I won't repeat it all. Looking at Bitcoin, I talked in the member live stream yesterday about what could be coming next for Bitcoin. There are various scenarios. Just want to point out one possible one here. I mean, there is the likelihood that we just shoot up now, but I think it is too early. I think we need a little bit of a larger scale correction, not a massive one, but maybe, and that is a possibility based on Elliott Waves. Could have come down to, as I said, we basically turned around here, struggled to make a new high, came down in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a small one. But on a larger scale, really what you could see here potentially now, and I talked about the members yesterday about that, and it seems to play out for the moment, that we found a bottom here at this A, move up to a possible B, which would be slightly lower than that all-time high, and then come down in a C, and that C would be ideally, based on the Elliott Wave targets and Fibonacci retracement levels, that would be between 54 and 57k. So we could be landing in there. That is just one possible scenario. If that scenario is playing out like that, we could also just go through. I think that is quite unlikely, but it is certainly possible. So this is basically what I'm looking at the moment. So I could expect a further price increase, maybe close to the all-time high, before we come down in that correction, which would allow us to get a lot of new power and steam to move further to the upside. But in the short term, could reach to that B, maybe at some point around 65, 66k, maybe at the previous all-time high. And the indicators currently support that, especially here on the 4-hour chart. Made a huge jump here above the 50 line in the bullish range. There's a lot of space to the upside here on the RSI on the 4-hour. Here also on the MACD, just made a buy signal. So looking good, on the shorter term time frames. And I think that shows that we have potential to move up some more. And also here, however, on the daily, and that is why I think that might be quite a bit of a likely scenario that I've just shown you, that we are nearly overheated again on the daily still. It hasn't brought it down a lot. I think that level of the RSI would not support straight away a move to like 100k. Also on the MACD, we actually got a sell signal. So it's just something to be aware of. But even if we drop to that level, it would be good entry in my point of view to really accumulate more BTC potentially. But that level, that drop, would also drag other altcoins down. It's just something to be aware of and to keep an eye on. I'm not saying it is going to happen, guaranteed, of course not. It's just one thought, and it would work out based on, it's one valid scenario based on the Elliott Wave counts. Now looking at ADA, ADA has actually recovered a little bit. It's now following Bitcoin a little bit to the upside again. So that is good. I mean, we dropped out of the triangle yesterday again, found support here at this former support level at $2.09, $2.10. Since that, we've been moving up again, and we're now pretty much in the middle of that triangle. As you can see, space is running out, but it's sort of, because I had to open it up a little bit, it's sort of shifted backwards, so we've got a little bit more space now. And also we could move in that higher sort of half of that triangle, this sort of second trend line, where we would have even more space back into November. So I'm quite glad that it didn't work out like yesterday, that we don't see that massive price drop. Bitcoin turned around again. Seems like whenever we break out to either side, Bitcoin is doing a turnaround. So yeah, just continuing to move sideways. For everybody who's saying, Bitcoin, Cardano isn't doing nothing, there are other cryptos as well which are in the same pattern. It's not only Cardano, so don't only blame Cardano. I showed you Algorand yesterday as well. There's a few other ones as well, and we've been touching on them on this channel, at least on some of them. So yeah, it just needs a little bit more patience. Let's take a look at ADA BTC. That also had a bit of a turnaround down here. This double bottom pattern, inverse head and shoulders, failed to make it through that former support, now resistance line at 3,550. We're coming down now, but possibly finding support here at that low. Yeah, might be turning around here again, maybe making a higher low, which would be good, and might be then coiling up for a further move to the upside. So that could be one possibility. Breakthrough here would then lead us to certainly the 20-day moving average, which is coming down here at around 370 at the moment. Yeah, so that's what we see. I think a move up would be supported by the fairly low RSI down here on the 1-hour chart. I think we could see a turnaround here now because we are now getting into, we were in oversold territory, which is also why we seem to be finding here some support. You can see that. And that's pretty much the quick update for now. Hope you liked that Cardano update. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe as well. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.